What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of Down to Be Outdoors. As you can tell by the title, I got a new crossbow and I'm going to run over some of the pros and cons and some of the safety features that I really like on this bow. As you can tell, it is the Ravin R10. I picked this bow specifically. I went and held a couple different crossbows by Ravin. This one fit me the best. I like the handle placement and longer stock. Those were two big pluses on this bow compared to a couple of the other bows that were just a little too short for a bigger guy like me, in my opinion. This bow is rated right at 400 feet per second. It has a pretty nice scope on it. It comes with scope lenses, and the scope eliminates red, green, and one thing I really liked about the scope that comes on Ravin bows is older crossbow scopes just came with normal crosshairs. For me, who shoots a lot and grew up hunting, it's no problem. But for my kids or my wife or someone who doesn't hunt all the time, that can be kind of confusing and difficult. So this scope makes it very easy for anybody really to use this crossbow. So like I said, this crossbow is rated at 400 feet per second, which is plenty fast for me. I really don't ever plan on taking any shots at any living animals over 50 yards. There's just too many things that can happen even with a fast bow. So I limit myself to 50 yards. So 400 feet per second should be just fine. This bow has a cocking mechanism, which is really nice. It's magnetic. There's a little hole right here. You just hook it on. Basically, just like so. And then when you crank it, you just go a little forward like this, and there's a release button right in here. You just push that, and then it releases. So that's very simple. This will push all the way forward. You just hold that button and it retracts. There's a little arm right here, as you can see. So I just take that instead of unwinding it and I push it out. It will go. You will hear a click when it engages to your string. I'm not going to go ahead and load it, even though with these bows you can safely unload without shooting. I'm not going to load it. And then it just cranks. As soon as it's done, you don't hear any more clicks. Bow is fully cocked. So that pops off. Very simple cranking mechanism. There's a lot of other crossbows out there nowadays that are making the cranking mechanism. This one is pretty cut and dry. Another nice thing about this is as soon as you cock this bow, it goes to safety. So as soon as it comes to full cock, it's on safety and you can switch it to fire. So when loading your bolt, you load this bow, it's at full draw, you gotta go up under this arc and white fletching down. And it snaps right in here and you'll hear a click, like a pop, when your nock engages onto the string. And if your nock is not fully engaged on your string, this bow will not fire. One of the other safety mechanisms that I really like about this bow. So there's no room for error. You can't mess up. If it's not knocked completely, it won't fire. But yeah, that's the specs on this bow. This bow retails for right at $1,300. Ravin did come out. You know, the camo which I got is a little more expensive, but you know, their average black crossbow is $1,300. I think the camo is an extra $100. Ravin just came out with the R10X, which is $300 more. I did a little bit of research before I bought this bow, and for $300, it shoots 400. You know, you get an extra 20 feet per second, and it has a silent crank, which are two factors that really aren't a big deal to me. So this is the bow I ended up going with. So far I'm super happy. It's very well built, nothing super chintzy on this bow. So we're gonna go ahead and hop outside I take a couple shots. I'll let you see how accurate it is. I shoot at 50 yards. I call my shots. And you know what? I've only shot the bow probably about a dozen times. And it's very impressive how accurate this thing is, you know. It's a tack driver for sure. But I think that's about it. I don't know if I mentioned this cranking. When you crank this bow, there's only 12 pounds of pressure. So if you have a bad shoulder, such as myself, this bow has very little pressure whatsoever. My little girl could crank it. So very easy on that aspects too. So I'm not going to keep talking. That's basically the rundown of this bow. All the Ravens have the heel coil technology, and yeah, I'm very pleased with my purchase so far. So let's go outside and take a shot, and we'll be back in a minute. This first shot, we're gonna go, there's 4 dots, and then there's the block symbol on the side of the block I'm using. So first shot, we're gonna go center circle. So it's on safe already. Go ahead and flick that to fire. Let's do top right this shot. For the last shot, I think we're going to shoot for O on block. So let's see, that's a little bit smaller of a target. Let's see how close we can get to that. Little above it, but for 50 yards you can't beat that. I mean, that's accurate. All right, YouTube. Well, as you can see, this thing shoots pretty good. There's a couple shots that were a little off, but at 50 yards they weren't. That's the targets I was shooting at are literally smaller than a baseball. So, I mean, your vitals on a deer, your lungs and your heart are about this big. So all the shots were on the money. They'd all been nice lethal shots. And I'm very, very impressed with this bow. I'm also looking forward to doing some hunting. It's been a while since I've made some videos. I had a laminectomy 6 months ago, which is a back surgery. So it's been a little rough. I need to get back into making some videos. You know, I enjoyed making the videos. So we're gonna get back into it. I got some big news coming up, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll get to go out and do some fishing here pretty soon. Life has just been hectic. But till next time, this is Down to Be Outdoors. I hope to see you guys soon. Catch you later.